Good evening, everyone. How's everyone doing today?
Hey, y'all.
Hi.
What's going on?
I'm good. I just barely made it here.
Listen.
I was having happy hour with, first of all, welcome to the BGKH show with Dominion and Epic.
Are you toasted?
My throat.
Your throat? Bitch, are you toasted? Are you a little toasty?
I had one drink. One.
Okay.
It was a good ass drink, though.
I'm watching you.
I am Dominion. Excuse me. I am Judge Dominion.
I am not the bailiff. God damn it. We are not doing that today, damn
Judge
it.
Dominion and Judge Epic. It's a two
There we go.
Judge panel.
Listen, I am epically judging you.
Yes.
Period. Welcome to the BGKH show.
This is episode 5011?
58
11,
11,
okay.
58 and 11, 17th or something like that.
Yes. So.
But yeah, so it is May 28th.
9th.
I'm sorry, May
29th. Yes.
And we are live.
We are live. So,
call in, ask us questions.
Yes. Yes.
240.
I told you hoes when I saw y'all in Chicago, call in. Mike Hernandez. I expect you to call in. I expect you to call in, Marcus. I expect you to call in, Cortez. I expect all of y'all to call in.
Oh, and Boy Mantis, you need to be calling in as well. Because if you're watching, I don't want to hear no more of that shit.
Exactly.
Call
in. You
in.
know what that shit is.
The number is
240-719-2560. Now, just you didn't hear it. 240-719-2560.
60.
There you go. Now, you can't say you didn't know. People be like, how do you get in contact with you? I don't know. Am I supposed to? Can I call in? Bitch, we said at the beginning and the end.
The telephone.
Yeah, 240-2.
Actually, that was 2. Then 2, then 4, then 0.
Then 0. You know that one number that was like the 0 and then the 0?
All the way around, you'd be like damn it. And you trying to dial real fast, you'd be like, especially if it's like, my grandma's number was 215-227. So I'd be like,
there you go.
Yeah, that was, anyway.
So, I got a lot to talk about. So, but how was your week?
My week was good.
Did you have to bump some gums?
I got the Pettiest Revenge.
Oh, good.
The Pettiest Revenge this week. Actually last week.
Okay.
And it was amazing. And I hated to do it, but oh well.
To whom? Can you say to whom?
So one of my coworkers that I actually work with.
Les Gums?
Yes. So FYI, we have an open office situation where we have cubicles and not as opposed to offices, and so I share the wall with 1, 2, 3 other people on 3 sides of me.
Right.
And the problem is, one is not a quiet person. And I get it that we all have habits, we all have things that make us feel comfortable when we're doing working and when we're thinking, and I get that. But one annoys the hell out of me, and we've had a conversation about this several times, and I've gone with my
But it's just
professional
chewing
voice.
the ice, though. Why does it get on your nerves? So I just need to understand why.
Let me tell you why it gets on my nerves.
Okay.
She is literally this far away from me because with the partition between us, we're just on the other side of this.
Is it a low partition or a high partition?
It's a high partition.
But you can still
But you are
hear.
literally on this other side of me. I just can't see you, but you're on the other side of me. So you start to chew ice.
Okay.
Not one small piece, but a 32-ounce cup full of ice.
Does she do that all the time?
That is just, and I realize that some people, like I like crunchy potato chips. Like that's one of my things. I love kettle potato chips. So I get it, the crunchy. But when I tell you that shit gets on my nerves, and it sounds like she is devouring the bones of small children and animals, and because it's like crunch, 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 crunch. So I put on my privileged white woman voice, and I walked over to her, and I was like, "Hey, how are you? Oh my God.
Hey, cut the shit.
That is a really cute item on your desk. Oh my God, that's so cute. So listen, I'm on the other side of your wall, and this cubicle.
But so do you even know her? Do y'all work with together, or is she just a bitch that sit on the other side
No,
of
I
the
know
wall?
her. We work together.
Oh, okay.
We are friends, and we met before she started working.
Well, y'all were friends.
Well, that's not my issue. Had that conversation with her. If this is getting loud, if you can tone it down, it kind of bothers me. Like I'm trying to read some deliverables and do some other stuff. So if you could just cut that out. We had this conversation multiple times, and I was in my, my good white woman voice.
Mm-hmm.
I even went to my, let me be sarcastic, and I'm going to play with you, be like, bitch, you know goddamn well that ice is getting on my nerves. You know that, and you keep doing. So I've done this on more than one occasion.
Mm-hmm. Why can't you just wear headphones?
I will not wear headphones in a public space. That's just like somebody getting on a train and blasting their music. I don't want to hear their shit. I'm not going to do it. And especially when you're sitting in front of me and I've already said to you, this is what bothers me.
That's not a similar analogy, though.
It is a similar analogy. That person get on the metro and that person's coming in and playing their music from their speaker or from their phone or having a conversation on their phone with no headphones. Hey, bitch, what's going on? How you doing? Oh, my God, what's up? Hey! You just sit on the metro trying to get whatever it is that you're trying to get done, which is just sitting there, maybe listening to your music, maybe just watching the walls go by.
That's
whatever it is.
That is what
but then you have somebody coming in.
Noise-canceling headphones are for.
It is invading your personal space. It is noise pollution. That's how I'm looking at it. It's an affront
So
to the
what
very
did you
delicacy
do?
of my nature.
Yes. Okay.
So, that particular day, not only did she have the ice in her metal container that she swirls around, she then had her phone pinging all day, and then to top it off, she put a piece of gum in her mouth and
she was cracking
gum.
it.
Now listen,
if
y'all don't know nothing about
chewing would be
if you
fine.
don't know, and I'm even fine with the gum cracking. But if what you don't know about me, if you don't know one thing about me, bitch, you don't want to try me with a piece of gum and cracking. Bitch, you do not want to listen. All of the North Philadelphia in me, the gay boy, all of that's gonna come out. All of that.
Yes.
So when I put that gum in my mouth, I said, okay, this is how this bitch wants to play it. Okay, no problem. I politely sat at my desk. I went and got me a fresh pack of extra gum, took that piece out, put it in my mouth, popped on my iTunes, and I was like, oh, let me see what I'm going to listen to. And it just like, oh, Tony Braxton. I was like, yes, come on over. Crack, 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 crack. Oh, yeah.
And what did she say?
An hour and a half later, she got up and she was like, oh, my God, you were really popping that gum. I was like, sorry. She's like, I mean, but there's a way you can actually chew it without popping gum. I was like, I don't really know any other way. I don't know any other way to do it. But she's like, but I mean, it's kind of loud. And I said, are you really coming over and saying something to me when you talk about ice and chewing and the metal cup and the pinging and everything? You're really coming and saying this to me? She's like, but I mean, it's just the way you're chewing it. And I was like, but you were just doing it earlier, so I don't quite understand. But okay, well. She's like, well, it's really bothering me. And I was like, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Well, God, everybody don't get what they want in their life.
Crack. And I kept on going. So the next 30 minutes, it got even worse because I got to some fast music. So
she filed a complaint.
I don't know if she filed a complaint or not. But that was on Friday. We went back to work on Tuesday and Wednesday. And I haven't heard anything from her today.
Okay.
For the past 2 days.
So good.
And we're good. So, but other than that, I had a great week.
Good.
It was a very busy day.
Yes.
We had a great weekend with DC Black Pride. So shout out to DC
I
Black
saw
Pride.
some pictures. It looked like y'all turned it.
It was actually, we had a lot of people that actually came up to us and were saying, hey, this was great. I was looking forward to this. It was almost intimidating because people were like, oh my gosh, we were waiting for this. We want to hear about this. We want to talk about this. And a special shout out to one of my sisters that came down. Little John came through, and I did have to kind of put her on Front Street a little bit in a very nice way. But I'm so glad she came through. So thank you, Little John, for coming through. And I'm glad you had a good time. But she was amazed. Like, she's that person sitting in the back where her eyes were this big. She was
like saucers.
What is going on? But but thank you, Little John, for coming through. But yeah, it was good. It was a good time. We had our everything out. I have a side conversation with you after this.
Okay, because I think I know what the side conversation is about.
Whatever. But anyway, it was good. What about yours? How was your weekend?
Really? Because that was the side of conversation I was going to have.
Actually, well, we can have that. But actually, that was great.
Really? Because it seemed like it was a lot.
That was the one time that they did something that I thought it was great. I have some pieces
other stuff.
To that.
Okay.
But,
all right.
Yeah.
All right. So I must first admit defeat.
Defeat.
44.6 and 46.3. That was how much my two bags weighed.
When you left.
Yes.
And when you came back, how much did they weigh?
One of them was 52 point blah, blah, blah. And I managed to, oh shit, now I can't pull that up. sometimes my phone, crap. Can you, out of my bag, can you hand me in the front part, just hand me the bag, please. My phone, sometimes my phone, it'll be like, we're at 15%, and then it'll be like,
drop instantly.
well, now we're off.
Yeah, it'll drop
So,
instantly.
because I got some stuff I need to pull up. Oh yeah, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is this one yours? Oh no, you're okay.
No. So, all right.
should
So
say
I packed all of my stuff because I had some plans for some big booty. Don't you got a big booty? And so that mostly worked out the way that I planned. I didn't get to use the biggest toys because the biggest booty that I was planning to play with was busy with, other fists and other toys. So it's fine. But don't get me wrong. It was not like I sat around. No, I did not sit around at all.
Who would have thought you sat around?
So everything was cute. So let's talk about the suite. The Onyx suite was cute as usual. The punch, it was cute.
Shout out to Voodoo, from what I heard.
Yes,
who did the
punch was cute.
So
now I always only drink it a small portion of the punch at a time. So when these kids talk about getting real fucked up, I have told them many a time
Don't
that
fuck with the punch.
you only drink, you cut it by half. You get a cup, you cut it by half. And plus, the first thing I did when I got to Chicago was go to the CVS. They had liquor on sale. They sell liquor in the CVS.
God
and they
bless-
had
God bless
Absolute
CVS.
Lime
God bless
on
Chicago.
sale on the 50% off shelf. So I got me a big old bottle of Absolute Lime for $12. Bitch, let me tell you. And I got some orange juice and cranberry juice. Then I bought this big gallon jug, just empty, that I bought back with me. And so now I am ready to go for any function. I still got that hydration backpack though.
Which is we're gonna use.
But yeah, we're about to use that in the next couple of weeks. So that was lovely. The bathroom in.
Well, no. Your phone's up. Let's get to this.
No. That is for another story.
Oh, okay.
I didn't take. Honestly, I didn't get to take too many pictures because I was busy.
No, I thought you were talking about the weight of the bag. I thought that's what you were going to.
No,
Oh,
I
okay,
didn't take a picture of the weight. But I do travel with a scale, so I knew how much it was. I was ready to go.
Okay.
And then so part of that was, I always travel with an empty bag. So I schlepped a lot of the stuff out of the one bag and put it in the other. So we still made it home. So I ended up, I still had three bags when I arrived and 3 bags when I left, not counting the string bag. But I bought several things, including these fabulous Milwaukee boots. I got to show them to you.
Wait. No, let's stop. Before we go any further, I need everybody out here in video land to go on to Dominion's page and check out his ensemble.
That was what I was getting to that.
Because it was, listen, you were living your best gay life ever. When I tell you, the look on your face was like, oh my God, I'm here, I'm the Supreme. Like, it was everything.
So last year, was that at Iniquity last year?
That was at Iniquity, yes.
Gray Owl came out with these wings that lit up, and instantly I was like, not just the gay boy, but the gayest boy in me came out. So I had the wings in red. I plan to get them in several other colors. And then,
but don't your lights change?
No, those just had the one color, but they do have the color changing lights. And so I showed up to the dance, and everybody's like, "What are those wings on your back?" And I was like, "Oh, that's cute." And then so I put them on, and I'm just sort of dancing around, and then I hit the little switch, and I was like, "Yeah!" And everybody was like, "Ah!" And then I had on this
the Rainbow
silver,
Phoenix.
right? I had on this silver. The same silver pants that I wore at Code Red, and a black and silver shirt that I had found that actually fit me. I was like, oh, okay, this is festive. So that was real nice. So Apex was real cute. Some of the girls was trying to be a little shady. Not any of the honest girls, but some local basic bitches. Like this girl, these girls talk about, oh, I'm real kinky. And then they get to talking, and you be like, not really.
Like, you kinky because you do what?
That's what she said last year. And so I think she was in her feelings because she thought that she was giving me her best, I want you to come home and fuck me in last year. And I was giving her, no, not now, not never. And so I think she was mad. So she was kikiing in the corner with all her little friends. So I was like, I don't give a fuck because I'm Dominion. You're just some bitch. So really. All right. So that was cute. The dance was cute. The bathroom at IML was real cute.
Was it
real cute?
I need a comparison. Is it cute like MAL bathroom?
I don't even to go to. I've never been in the bathroom at MAL. Really? They carry on in the bathroom at MAL. I swear to God, because I carry on in the room.
It is like a piss pit when you walk in that bitch.
Oh no, there's no pissing per se going on, but it's just.
I'm literally saying it's because it's everything is going on in that bathroom.
Yeah, well, I've never gone into the bathroom at MAL because I don't need to because there's so much going on in the room.
When you go downstairs into that area, when you go to the vendors and stuff, sometimes the closest bathroom is around the corner.
Bathrooms at MAL, because honestly, because I just have never needed to because everything that I've ever wanted to play with comes to the suite, and my room is attached to the suite, so I'm good.
And I'm not even saying that you should in the bathroom. What I'm saying is when you walk through there, you notice there's tons of stuff.
Well, we know you know what's going on in the bathroom. You almost got thrown out of the hotel.
That was not in the bathroom. Thank you very much. Get your facts straight, America. America, get your facts straight.
So then
that was in the closed ballroom. Thank you very much. Please call me. I don't remember your name.
Right.
But please call me.
So I had a play date with the sub, the one that lives in Cleveland, and I introduced him to his bitch suit. So, which is just a mesh body stocking, but I was like, from now on when we play, that's, like the ass is out, and it's like, all right, so from now on that's what you wear when you play. And like whenever we were out in public, when we were like in the Onyx suite, he had to take off all his clothes except for the bitch suit.
Okay.
And on command, he had to bend over and show the girls his hole and everything. So. But he loved all of that. He loved that public.
Gotta love.
Right, yeah. He loves that public exhibitionism, and he loves being told what to do. So that worked out nicely. Then we had the People of Color Caucus, and
which looked amazing.
It did. It was really good. We had some really good discussion. But my eye, so here's the audience, right? And my eye kept going over here because there was this cutie. And his friend, I assumed that they were a couple, so I was just like, well, maybe we can play together. But then when the thing ended, of course, I got called away. People want to talk. People want to blah, blah, blah. People want me to strum their pain with my fingers and, sing their whole life with my words. And they want to tell me about every kink experience that they had since I'm a boy. And, I'm like,
I got to go.
Right.
I got to go.
And so they left. But I saw them that night at the dance. And, we started making out. We had a cute little triple kiss. And, fingers ended up in booties. And the way this one dude was moaning. And so they wanted to go back to the room tonight. But I'd already been drained 3 times. So I was like, I don't even have dust for you at this point. Right. And so I was like, can we play tomorrow night? And they were like, that actually works out even better. So I was like, yes. So that worked out. So that was going to happen. So, but before that, earlier in the day, so between the People of Color Caucus and the dance, I was upstairs on the mezzanine looking at floggers. And this guy came by and said he had always wanted to get flogged. So me and Suede took turns flogging him. And he was like, this is fun. I feel like we should do this some more. And so Suede was like, well, you met Dominion first, so, you can go. Because I was like, listen, we can do this together. Because then I get to see Suede. You never know what might happen. One thing might lead to another.
I'm trying to remember what.
I'll show you a picture later.
Okay.
And
I think I know who that is.
Yeah, from Los Angeles.
Yes.
And so I got this dude's number. So Sunday I was supposed to have a play date with the cute couple, but before that, early in the morning, I was supposed to have this flogging thing. So I got up because he said he was an early riser. So he was supposed to meet up at 10 o'clock, which is early for IML week.
Well, yeah.
Right. And so at 9 o'clock, I texted him to see if he was coming. He did not text me back at all. Didn't text me. Then 11:30, he texted me and he was like, oh my God, I just woke up. I'm so sorry. He said he had too much to drink. And I believed him. Okay. Listen, all I can go with is on your word. He didn't seem like an ass. He certainly did not show up. But at least he texted me, even if it was later. And I wasn't put out. Because, I'd still just got my dick sucked. So, that was good. It was a lot.
The best part of waking up is with a dick in your mouth.
Lord. Oh, my goodness. And anyway, so then we had the play date. That's
the morning.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right.
And several other times throughout the day.
Okay.
Then I had the play date with the couple. So now one So I'm not going to. I don't want to put everybody business in this because we Facebook friends now. So plus I don't want it to be like, oh, so we just gonna fucking tell.
So we'll talk about it afterwards.
No, but what I will say, I mean, he goes deep into his headspace and he cries, and that was.
I don't want to know.
No, all I'm gonna say is that the more he cried, the more I was like, yeah. It's like you ever watch,
I get that.
Did you ever watch South Park? Like the episode when Kenny killed that dude Scott Finkelstein's parents and ground him up and put him into chili, and Scott Fetterman was crying and Carter was like, as he was licking the tissue, he's like, yes, yes, yes. So I was loving all that, but they are really nice guys, and of course they live in San Francisco. Because I was like, so where do you live? And how soon can I see you again? And, he was like, I live in San Francisco. Like, son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Now, we're going to talk about the contest later because there's a lot to talk about with that. But last thing I'm going to talk about with IML, two things. So the Black and Blue Ball is held at the House of Blues. Okay. Like the House of Blues, Big Q's concerts. Mm-hmm. But imagine.
I didn't realize it was as big as it actually is.
Yes, a couple thousand leather men. Yeah. And they are carrying on. Okay. It's like a bathhouse. And Quita and Daquan are like servers and shit. And they just they just like serving drinks, some people over here fucking, they was like, can I get you another cocktail? And they're can I get a rum and coke? And the dude is like a dick like, can I get a bottle of water? And they're like, yeah. They're like, all right.
Extra lime.
Exactly. So it was just bizarre to me because it's not, and to their credit, no one seemed to be like, I'm sure they had like, girl, this is what's going to happen. But it's just you show up to, like, girl, what you going to do? I got to shift. And then like the stories that they have, like, I'm saying Quita. Her name could be Karen. So, or Lisa. So Lisa is like with her friends next day. It's just like, girl,
Lisa
last
night. Trail.
Lisa is with her girlfriend the next day. She was like, girl, these gays was carrying on.
Like the staff at the hotel at MAL?
But the hotel is one thing. But we're in like a club venue, and this isn't just like, oh, okay, someone's getting their dick sucked on the dance floor. No, on the upper mezzanine, so you can look down, there's a line of pass around party bottoms just with their ass out, and dudes just, one dude was getting railed so bad, I was like, ooh, I hope you live local, because if you got to get on a plane tomorrow, your booty is going to be foolishness for your booty.
Oh.
So, but, I also did get a chance to spend time with the family, so that was lovely. So The last thing I'm going to say is haters. Everything is not perfect with the IML organization.
No organization.
But that's why I don't complain.
Right.
Because y'all don't understand what a privilege it is to have a place where we rented out a fucking huge, like, internationally known club and turned it into a sex club.
Yes.
Do you understand what, maybe they do that in Europe all the time, but 99% of you hoes are never going to get to Europe. So, don't complain about what the fuck it is that we have. And on a smaller scale, people complain, oh, the DC Eagle in this, or the Baltimore Eagle, or, when I go to the Eagle in Columbus, it's not like it used to be. Well, girl, everything changes, but just be glad that you have these places and support them. So no, is the IML organization perfect? No, right. But we ain't got a whole lot else, on that scale. So it's easier to go and then say, because we aren't like good Judies, but I didn't know Chuck Renslow, but I do know Billy, and I do know some of the other people who are there. And we know Taisha, and we know other people that if you register a complaint, not a whine, but a complaint about something that is fixable, they will do what they can to fix it.
Exactly.
So don't go bad-mouthing the event, because we ain't got a whole lot of places like that to do. So people were complaining that this year you had to pay to get into the hotel. if you weren't registered, you already had to pay $30 if you wanted to go to the Leather Mart. Now you pay the extra $10, you pay $40. They got you into the Leather Mart for the whole weekend as well as hotel. Now, if you've ever been to Parliament House in Augusta or like to the gay campgrounds in Poconos or any sort of like gay resort or even straight resorts, and they have what's called a day fee.
Yeah.
And let's be clear, it's more than $40 per day, not for the whole fucking weekend. Yeah. Also, we live in a time post nightclub where we need to create a safe zone where you can't just allow people to freely walk in, because if you got hurt in that club, just say some crazy person, knock on wood, this never happens, but some crazy person comes in and shoots up everybody in the club, the first thing that you, or Lord forbid that you die, your successors, your heirs are going to say is, when they sue, well, what kind of security perimeter did you have set up? And all that shit cost.
Yeah.
So none of that shit is free.
Yeah.
So before you start complaining, think about that. Then, there were some people who were complaining about the bathrooms. Let me be clear. I carried on in the bathroom this year. I carry on in the bathroom every year, but it was 2:00 in the morning. There is a difference between carrying on in the hotel at 2:00 in the morning and carrying on at the hotel at 2:00 in the afternoon. At 2:00 in the afternoon, there are people, including, especially if you do it in the women's bathroom. At night, it's sort of a free-for-all. But especially during the day, someone was complaining and said they were gender non-conforming, and they said they were gender policing the bathrooms. No, they weren't. They were creating a place where people who are woman identified could use the bathroom without dudes pissing all over the seats or trying to fuck or whatever. Now at night, there was no one caring which bathroom you went into. But during the day, they made at least a minimal attempt to make sure that people who appeared to be women had the opportunity. Now they didn't, as far as I know, they didn't stop any women from going into the men's bathroom, but they certainly did stop people who appeared to be men from going into the women's bathroom. Did they get it perfect? No. But to me, that is not gender policing. That is creating a safe space for women identified people to go and use the bathroom who might not be comfortable with dudes fucking around them or
with
people
respect
piss. Right.
And privacy at the same time.
Right. And so again, and then other people like, this, another people complain, this event is going down the drain. Used to be you could fuck you could still fuck in the bathroom at 2:00 in the morning.
Why are people concerned about that aspect of?
Because bitches is cheap, and I was like, this is why I don't normally. I mean, I have a little bit of fun in the bathroom, but I was like, bitch, I'm paying for a hotel room
If
every
you're there,
night. And there, I will say, you walk in that room, my dick
a-
gets hard because there's an energy.
Yeah, so
in
I
that
get
space.
that. I absolutely get that. And just like with any other current old bathhouse, there's a certain amount of energy that's in the room. That's in the space.
Is that
And
testosterone in
there's
those?
smell,
What is it called?
Pheromones.
Pheromones that is in
there's
the air that just gets you.
Yeah, there's a smell. There's a feeling. There's even a heat
Yes.
in a space.
With all of those bodies, yes.
Listen, and it is nothing.
So I get all of that, but if you can't, don't be mad if you get if someone asks you to leave the hotel because you was fucking in there at 2:00 in the middle of the day when perhaps women, cleaning staff got to go in and out of the bathroom and other things. As far as I know, no one got arrested like at night when like late at night. I don't mean like as soon as the sun go down, but like late at night, like midnight afterwards, no one got arrested or no one even said anything. So, I just get annoyed with people complaining about events when, it's such a privilege and a blessing to have these kinds of spaces and to have it be legal. That's the thing. Because gays have always created the spaces, but to have a place where you could safely do that at night without fear of being arrested. Ain't nobody gonna bust into the hotel and be like, this is a raid. Because if it was, you're gonna have to arrest like 6,000 people because everybody is in the hotel carrying on. And you can't arrest everybody at the fucking House of Blues because everybody's carrying on at the House of Blues. So be thankful, count the blessing, support the gay organizations and big gay events that still exist.
And support does not necessarily mean financial.
Right.
Support means volunteering and
Yes.
doing the work, because
And not bad mouthing them.
is a major piece of it as well.
And
Because
if you
need
have a
people to do the work.
legitimate, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm saying because everybody needs to do the work. There's work that needs to be done by every single person.
Right. And if you have a legitimate complaint, before you get on Facebook and talk about how awful the organization is, how about you try talking to some of the people who are available to
I think that's just. I'm getting ready to be railed about this. I
Right.
know it, but I feel like that is an age difference. And
It is an age difference.
I have this conversation at work because I work with federal government employees, and they talk about the passing information on to the next generation, and they're talking about how like succession planning and but dealing with the people that the information is going to go to next, and in particular the millennials. So I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. And I work with a couple of them, and it's fine. We have some in the organization. And great, I get it. But sometimes I just question. I just question why. Like, why that avenue? Why?
Because it doesn't
It's
affect
just-
any real change,
Yeah,
though.
it's like-
I'm the opposite.
You're making noise. It's
Here's
just
the
making noise.
When I was 18 and I had a problem at FAMU,
Knocking on the door of whoever it is that I can actually talk to.
literally,
Because
one day, the first day of school, the president, Frederick Humphreys, of the university, not the president of the college, the president of the university said, if you have a problem, come see me. I had a problem. I took my young, naive ass up to President Humphrey's office. His secretary, of course, his secretary was like, who the fuck are you? I was like, Dr. Humphrey said if I had a problem, I should come see him. I got a problem. I'm coming to see him. And she was like, well, what's your problem? I told her what my problem was. She went in to see Dr. Humphreys. And then cause I knew I wasn't going to actually see Dr. Humphreys. I ain't stupid. But what I did have was now
The ear.
she talked to Dr. Humphreys, and Dr. Humphreys said, go down to financial aid and tell them I said. So now it's a whole different conversation. Because before it's just me, 18-year-old freshman, talking some foolishness. Now I go back and said, Dr. Humphreys told me to tell Dr. Flamer that this is what needs to happen. So that's how I operate. I'm not going to get online and be like, FAMU is broken. I wish people would do thus and so and light the school up. You know, that's not how I would do, because that don't get you anything. All that does is make people mad, and then they won't talk to you.
Fanning the flames of nonsense.
Right. So, speaking of IML, our brother,
Yes.
our brother
Who
is a man.
and also who is a founder
Yes.
of the
Northwest.
Northwest chapter. However, he is a member.
No, that's not. I'm not even. Oh, the girl's
He is a
trying to-
member
Oh.
of Mid-Atlantic.
Oh God.
Proceed.
Jack Thompson, Exile Onyx, is the first trans person of color to win International Mr. Leather. He is still the current Leatherman of Color 2019, and he beat out 67 other title holders to win IML on Sunday. He is the first trans person of color to win in the contest's 41-year history. The second runner-up was Fionn Scott, Mr. Leather Ireland 2019, and the first runner-up was John Marcus from Mr. Leather San Francisco. He is not the first trans person to win. He's the first trans person of color. The first trans person to win was Tyler McCormick, who is also one of the sweetest people you will ever want to meet. And he won International Mr. Leather in 2010. Jack is also the third member of Onyx.
Yes.
The second member of Onyx Mid-Atlantic.
Yes.
And the second Onyx brother in a row to win International Mr. Leather, following James Lee, who took home the sash last year. And part of that larger thing, last year, Lucky Rebel who was at the time a pledge of Onyx Northwest, was International Mr. Boot Black. So, and also congratulations to Crisley DeHond, who is Mr. Boot Black Europe. I don't know have his title, I think. Interestingly enough, Jack's husband, Jeff Millard, also competed for International Boot Black, gave an amazing speech about SESTA and the need to support, what exactly did he say? How the community must increasingly protect the more marginalized people. And he said something that we as gay men and as leather men must align ourselves with marginalized community and against SESTA, because it is in our interest. So many of the places that we go to, including places like IML, are being closed as a result of SESTA.
Right.
So Google SESTA and find out what that is all about.
And let me also say that Jack's husband is also one of very few people that actually has had the opportunity to participate in IML and IMBB.
Yes.
So again, shout out to both of them. That is one old power couple.
Yes.
And I congratulate both of you. I've been off of Facebook and not necessarily making any comments or responses.
I
I haven't. Not about this whole thing, because at the end of the day, I love Jack. I love Jeff. Jack.
No. I don't have anything to say about the two of them.
Whatever you need, let's just make that happen, period. That's just what it is. But I've seen a lot of nonsense that has gone on.
So speaking of nonsense.
Yeah, so that's going to be my segue. And I'm trying to stay out of it, but, you know.
Well, I've already stepped in it, as you might expect. So there's a man who was the president of the Southeast Conference of Clubs, which is an organization, I don't know if it's just leather organizations, but leather and other clubs in region. So there's like an Atlantic States Conference of Clubs that we should belong to, and we probably need to talk about that.
I was about to say, I don't
we
think
need to. We've talked about it, but we need to finish that. Okay. But anyway, he was the president of the Southeast Conference of Club, and he says, "I'm happy for the winner, but it is international." The "but" is all capital. It is International Mr. Leather. Mr. is all caps. He identifies as a man, but not born a man. I feel that the decision is politically motivated. Now, this is just my opinion. First of all, it's because you got an opinion, don't mean it ain't fucked up. And if your opinion is not based in facts, it's definitely fucked up. So, people are saying, well, he didn't misgender him, or that wasn't transphobic. It's like, yes, he did. He implied that because Jack was not born a man, that he cannot be International Mr. Leather, which by extension says that because he is trans and not a cisgender man, he is ineligible and unqualified to be International Mr. Leather, and that the decision is politically motivated. Let me be clear. The head judge was our brother, James Lee. The tally master is Vidra, who is one of my brothers in my other fraternity. That entire judging staff is beyond reproach. So to say that 67 men, that they from the beginning stacked the whole competition just so that Jack could win, so that they could make some sort of a political statement, is ridiculous. 100% ridiculous. So there is that. And so here is my response.
Listen, the views of, this is my rant, the views of Dominion are not the Dominion.
But you're going to agree with this one.
Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Dear Mr., I'm not going to say his name on Facebook because he's already.
We're not giving him
because listen, I comment on your actions. I don't comment on your personality as a rule. And, some of the girls have already taken it too far. They've given death threats and all that shit. And so I'm not going to give his name. But I said, Mr. So-and-so, there is no way in the year of our Lord and Savior, Beyonce, 2019, that you cannot go onto Al Gore's internet and understand what it means to be transgender. About what do you need to be educated? How to use the interwebs? How to spell transgender? No, you understand what it means. You just don't accept it because it calls into question your masculinity. Or maybe it challenges your privilege. Or maybe you're just an asshole. Either way, while you are welcome to your admittedly uninformed, dumbass, transphobic, and probably racist, now listen, we know what's coming. We've been down this road before. To your opinion, please know that you will be challenged at every turn. A trans man is a man. This trans man is our brother. Hashtag we are Onyx. Hashtag he is Onyx. Hashtag get into it. And P.S., This is not a personal threat, so no need to call the police on our cookout. We know you girls feel threatened anytime a Negro does anything more than say yes or massa.
I can't say I didn't read it before, and I was sitting there, I was looking at my phone like, yeah.
Because, you know, it really, this, of all moments in this entire journey, the only thing we should be talking about is the historic nature of Jack's win as the first trans man. We should, and we're still going to do this, but we shouldn't have to, in the year of our Lord and Savior Beyonce 2019, have to deal, well, it's not even me because I'm fine. I'm not the person who has to wake up and see people debating my humanity or debating my manhood when Jack and I are friends, but we ain't like, tight, but I know enough to know that he and every other trans man or trans woman has gone through a journey, a painful journey of self-acceptance, and to have people literally telling them that they aren't qualified. Let me tell you something. If Jack did nothing, say what you want. When Jack came out there in his jock strap, he looked sickening.
Let's be clear.
Sickening.
Because the picture I saw when Jack stood back and popped them guns up and was like, crack, crack, I said, come on, guns!
Right. And come
on, guns!
His speech is one of the most moving speeches I've ever heard at IML. And listen, I've only been going to IML since 2011, but that means if you listen to 20 speeches times 9 years, I have listened to 90 speeches. That is his and Link's and Alf Elimination's speech were some of the best speeches that I've ever heard in that entire time. And not to forget Tobias's speech. Tobias's speech was excellent too. And of course Ramian's.
Okay.
But for whatever reasons, Jack gave an amazing speech. So no, there was no kicking the books to, create a situation that made it easy for Jack to win. Jack won outright because he was the best candidate. And let's be clear, to even get to the top 20, you got to go through an interview, which is the largest piece of that. Listen, so therefore, he clearly gave a superior interview.
And the interview, how many people are in the interview? It's the panel.
9 people.
9 people. So you mean, don't.
Right, you mean to tell me that, you all 9 of them were in on this conspiracy. For what purpose? It's not like you get a whole lot of money. You win like $1,000 to be IML. So there's not like.
I didn't even know you won money. I just thought you won. It's like you know what I mean? Like, it's not even that much. But
right,
anyway.
so it's not $100,000.
Right, this is not Drag Race.
So let's do that. This story, Trump's unhinged behavior could be
let me
due
be
to
clear.
Untreated syphilis.
There's an article that I found. And I thought I was dying laughing. So of course, I'm sitting here looking at this, but again, I found this article on Yahoo. It talks about his, 45 and his behavior. And it said an expert in infectious diseases has claimed that President Trump's alleged erratic and bizarre behavior.
That's not alleged, honey, but sure.
Which has led several mental health professionals to express fears that he could be mentally ill. He's saying that could be part of the symptoms of syphilis. It's a sexually transmitted disease.
Right.
But again, the shocking suggestion that Trump could be exhibiting the symptoms of dementia due to syphilis was put forth by this particular expert of infectious diseases, Stephen Butler. And this was in an article that he actually wrote called "A Medical Theory for Trump's Bizarre Behavior," and it was published in the New Republic. Now, to be clear, this article is now 2 years old. But the more that I look at it, it fits every single thing. Because again, let's think about the syphilis. The Tuskegee Airmen, that whole experiment, they were injected with active and inactive versions of syphilis, and there were some people that were test groups and not, but the whole point is there were several people that were injected with live strains of syphilis. There were several people that they actually sat and just watched and saw what happened to their bodies and their minds, and they deteriorated over time, and years and years. So these actions that he is exhibiting are the same actions or the same things that were happening to these men that were a part of this study. So
Could be.
I don't know. I'm just saying. You might want to think about that, Melania, next time you lay down next to him.
All right, so
if you haven't already.
Yeah. We need to. Pete, did you see that episode of South Park where Peter was working at the South Park, Family Guy, where Peter got the job at the White House, and then him and Trump got in a fight, and then Melania was like, Peter, kill him in front of me and I sex you. It's so funny to me. Anyway, so
I'm missing like a whole season.
Yeah, that was like last season.
Yeah, like whole seasons of Family Guy. Anyway.
So last week was season 11 reunion of highlights. So I'm just going to go down your list. Vanjie, when they first showed Vanjie,
who is this woman?
Until she spoke, I literally was like, who
the
fuck is this?
Who that woman?
And then as soon as she spoke, I was like, of course.
As soon as all you heard was, get them cookies,
she looked amazing. I mean, she looked good, but she didn't look like the Vanjie. Like, I didn't find her as attractive to me.
Wait, you didn't find Vanjie attractive, or you didn't find Vanjie as a boy attractive?
I still find Vanjie as a boy attractive, but if she had that much work done, then she don't look like Vanjie the boy that I remember.
Well, I don't know. I think I mean,
as a drag queen, she looked fine.
She looked great.
But that was not just makeup. That was clearly plastic surgery. So there's no way that her facial structure, even as a boy, still looks the same. So I was a little disappointed by that. I mean, good for her. I mean, live your best life, and that makes you. But you know.
But anyway,
I don't know that I want to.
I thought he looked
anymore.
amazing.
Maybe.
But hey.
Speaking of Vanjie, Brooklyn and Vanjie broke up.
Yeah, they were calling it Brangie, which I
didn't call it that, but I don't really like those combined names.
But they broke up.
They seemed like they were aight, but I feel like they might get back together.
But then I kind of got this real cold ass vibe from Brooklyn the entire time.
Like she
was very much like, you were here for a purpose, and that was your purpose, and that was it. That was
a little bit how I was feeling about it, and I feel like Vanjie was like, girl, what you? Oh, so this was cute. And like other people said it, like, okay, so this was your storyline because you were uninteresting. And everybody was like, I wasn't uninteresting. I won these challenges. No, honey, we're not talking about that. Yes, you might have been talented, but a reality show is more. It's plenty of hoes that were talented that didn't win.
She was giving cold-hearted bitch.
She was.
That's just what I got. Sorry.
Raja tried to act like she didn't say half of the shit that she said and try to act like I was involved. No, girl, sometimes you do look back on the things that you say and be like, yeah, I went too far.
Listen.
But no, girl, you could see it on your face. You knew exactly what you were saying.
And if you're going to be that bitch in that moment, stay in that motherfucking moment. Just like the person we were talking about, there was a rebuttal by him that he actually stood in his shit.
Right.
He was wrong as hell and was fucked up, but he stood in his shit. So Roger, stand in your shit if that's what you're gonna do.
Right.
But okay, that's just me.
Ariel,
she came off like a punk.
Yeah.
She talked like junk about these damn wigs when she got back on the show. And Roger, listen, that was one of the most
unfortunate to throw that wig like that. It wasn't cute. It didn't come off funny.
It wasn't. It
didn't even come off shady. It came off bitter and nasty.
Yeah,
and
I was just like
it would that kind of so to me it's like you have to walk a fine line between being that bitch but still being likable enough that promoters want to book you.
Exactly.
And like that kind of attitude, I would be like, well, I don't need that kind of girl at the club, because if she gonna do like that, how is she gonna act with these other drag queens?
That's not gonna work.
And one of the girls actually pull out a blade and cut your ass.
The vixen, on show, she was great and it was some drama, and I kind of felt her pain a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't want to do with that hoe.
Right.
I like her from afar. I want to watch her television.
Right. So you gotta look at that as a business, and you can't be carried.
I'm good.
You can't carry on like that forever.
I'm good.
So Silky said she gained 30 pounds on the show,
and that was part of the reason why she was saying she had an issue with her pads and everything else. And
I
was like,
I don't buy that.
I was like, girl, them pads were seen. That's the problem. They were seen. Cover them up. Like Rue was saying, put on another pair of tights or 2 or 3.
Right. So that's not it. Kahana had words for Mercedes. There's always that bitch that get voted off first that's like, okay. But and to me, I felt like that was entirely manufactured.
What was that?
Because what the fuck was...
Why were you upset? I still don't get it.
She was upset because in the whole opulence thing, when that episode aired, Mercedes said... posted something that said, Shantae, you stay, and posted the video. So Kahana had feelings about that because she felt like it took away from her moment of shine. So she said something to Mercedes, and Mercedes said, I took it down. And he said, but you put it up like 2 months later. I was like, bitch, it's after the fact now.
It's 2 months later, so what the hell?
And you got, damn, Mercedes got a brand to build. She been voted off the show.
Yeah, I don't understand.
You gotta,
what the,
I felt like that was entirely manufactured to make her look like a sympathetic character, and it just made her look like
a made-up moment. I don't
foolish.
I couldn't.
So Akira did not come off well. She came off as a shit starter.
Unfortunately, she's doing the same thing that from last season, the bodybuilder, Cameron Michaels. She's coming off in that same vein like Cameron to me right now, where you want to like her. She has lots of likable things that's going on, but now I'm gonna give her credit. She's standing in her shit, but I feel like you didn't backpedal and pussy pop. But you just kind of
slow walked.
Yeah, you slow walked and you just kind of twerked. That's kind of you slow walked and twerked
a little bit because listen again. If you're going to be that bitch,
just go ahead and be
just be it and be like, listen,
it.
This was part of the game.
Denise.
This is part of the game. This is the the thing that I was playing. And then so the library was reopened. Whatever.
So and Silky. Let me just say that.
What do you mean by Apollo lied on air?
She supposedly apologized. No, she apologized.
Apollo lied.
She apologized
Okay,
on the show. That's what she did. She was like, oh, I'm just, I just want to apologize. Girl, you apologized. That's because you realized your ass was coming off.
Terribly.
Just, you apologized.
Not only did you, in hindsight, I bet she didn't realize how bad she looked on air, and now because her look was very pulled together.
It was cute.
And I bet she realized that she did not come off on well on air.
And she probably, like with most pageant girls, they have a team around her that is doing the last little nip tuck on her, and that's probably what.
Yeah, so maybe she probably doesn't know how to cut pads or recut them if they needed to be recut and do all of that
before you got to where you are.
And then, clearly, that whole thing about her being able to beat anybody, because she didn't say she could beat her own mugs. She said girls hired her to beat their mugs, and then
that she did
when she had to beat Soju's mug, she beat it up. She beat it up.
And Soju made that damn comment about the damn about the
Sharpie.
The Sharpie, but we'll come back to that.
Right. So Plastique was called in. I was packing while I was doing this. I was like, I don't really give a fuck.
It was like what?
Right. She was trying to act like she was like, bitch, you don't know nothing about Beyonce or whatever.
I didn't know Beyonce, and they were like, but your Facebook page has stuff on it like 3 months before.
Right.
What Plastique? What? I don't.
This was the shadiest thing that was unfortunate to me. The shit with Brooklyn and Vanjie, I was like, that's personal. But I was like, Scarlett, I felt bad for Scarlett.
There's something that we don't know.
There's definitely something we don't know. But I felt bad for Scarlett because Scarlett seemed like a little annoying, but she didn't seem like a bitch in the way, and Brooke didn't normally just come out of her mouth like that. So I was just like, I didn't like that bitch.
She just, listen,
and
I appreciate
it seemed like Scarlett was taken aback. She was like,
yeah, she's like, I didn't particularly care for you. Something about you I didn't like. And I was like,
that's shady, because to me, it's like, if you're going to say you don't like someone, say why you don't like them. Just like, well, I just didn't like you.
Yeah, and I was like,
because I thought that was nasty. It was completely out of character for her. And it made me feel a little bad for Scarlett, because I just didn't think that Scarlett. I felt Scarlett suffered a little bit from milk syndrome, where she was a little bit arrogant, but I didn't think she wasn't as annoying as Milk. I still, actually, I don't know, it was something to me that I kind of liked about Scarlett. I felt like she was somewhat sympathetic. Okay, maybe I'm just a sucker.
Well, I'm not saying all that, but all I'm saying is,
you're right. This is a messy reunion, like that second season reunion with Rebecca Glasscock and all of them. Ooh, that was some, and not Rebecca. Was that the season?
Rebecca Glasscock.
What was the one that had the teeth?
You're talking about Tyra.
Tyra, yeah.
That
was second season.
Yeah,
that was a messy ass reunion.
Listen, this is coming down to be one of the messy. I don't know what the problem was, or
I feel like a lot of it was editing, because there was some shit. Like, they didn't make because a lot of the stuff that those girls say are like, they'll say to you like offline, so maybe you should ask to Akira. He's like, well, maybe you should ask plastique about the wigs. And then she says it on air, and when that happens enough, you think it's your own words, but really you're being prompted and coached because these are the stories that the producers want to tell. So
yeah. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this, Rue. I feel like the show is taking a different twist. Like it's becoming overly dramatic,
right? It's
or unnecessarily dramatic.
I thought it was a brilliant concept in the beginning that you're going to combine the best elements of America's Next Top Model and Project Runway,
and also drag to make it
right, a drag version of those two
yes,
shows
yes,
combined.
Yes.
But now it's becoming too much like Road Rules. Or what was the other one where they all lived in a house? Real World.
Yeah.
With this manufactured drama whatever.
Real World was, there were some scenes from Real World that I would never forget.
I still do not. What's the one, the Real Housewife now? Or Basketball Wives?
Oh, you're talking about Tammy Roman.
I still don't fuck with Tammy Roman to this day for the way that she did David.
She carried him.
And the way that she almost got him arrested and all
that
shit.
And his whole career just fucked up.
Right. I mean, he did turn out to be homosexual, but I mean, the way that she carried him, because like people kept talking about Tammy from Basketball Wives, and I was like, I don't watch these shows. And then, like in another one of my Facebook group, when I found out they were talking about Tammy Romaine, I was like, oh, I will never watch that because I don't fuck with Tammy Romaine. Everybody was like, why? And because it was like a bunch of people who were like 10 years younger than me, I was like, because Tammy Romaine did another black man dirty on air. She accused him of rape.
Yeah.
Now, if she felt like she was
accusation alone is enough to take somebody out.
And when it happened, we're off topic, but she was laughing and giggling at the time, and then afterwards she's crying. Like 2 days later, she's crying, talking about she was raped. But if you played the tape back, she was laughing and like it was a joke. He was trying to pull the towel off of her, and everybody was laughing. Because listen,
it was the blanket.
Listen, if you don't want the towel to be pulled off, you be like, stop.
Right.
Because Tammy is that woman.
Wait, and Tammy can fight.
Right. So we know Tammy can fight. So
listen.
Anyway.
Okay. But anyway.
All right, so wrap us up.
But I'm going to go ahead and say this. The one thing I will say about the Real World is the slap heard around the world when What's His Face went out to that car, opened that door and slapped the shit out of him.
She's like, yeah, we can never be friends because you're a homosexual. And he hadn't come out yet. And he was like, bitch, what? And she said it as she was getting in the car to leave the house because she drive off. She opened the door and tapped that face. And that was when he got voted off the house. So that was like a year before he got caught sucking dick in the park in L.A. But anyway.
It made an impression. But anyway. Right. And tomorrow, just so we're clear, tomorrow
the finale. You coming over? We're going to have cocktails and, watch the show? Yeah, okay.
Because I got to pack and I got to do something else. We had a lot of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, okay.
But anyway, so thank you for tuning in today. The BGK8 show streams live on Wednesdays on voxwave.com. 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific. Episodes are available on YouTube every Friday. You can search for Vox Power 373 and look for the BGK8 show with Dominion and Epic. Currently, we are able to host a studio audience. We have some space.
Yes.
Hello.
Echo.
If you can't make it, you can always give us a call. You can call into our audience, and you can call us and be on air with us live at 240-719-2560. One more again. 240-719-2560. 2560. 2560-0000.
Yes.
But anyway, but if you want to get in touch with any of us, you can reach me on Twitter, EpicOnyx1 on Twitter. You can also reach me on Instagram at I am Epic Onyx. You can also find me on Facebook if you look for Epic Onyx as well. Dominion, how can people get in touch with you?
You can reach me by railway. You can reach me by trailway. You can reach me on an aeroplane. You can reach me with your mind. You listen, you just can't reach me by cell phone because I don't give my number to these girls. Listen, I cannot tell you, I am literally getting robocalls all the fucking time. Anyway, all right, so you can, and my voice is shot because from yelling for fucking Jack, I was like, yes! And then, so the last thing I'll say, we got
2 pieces, actually 3 pieces.
Yes. Let me tell you. So just like when Ramian won, These hoes are sitting there like, they say Jack Thompson, and they all sitting there. I was like, bitch, we gotta go. And so I get up and dash. And everybody's like, where are you going? I was like, we need to get to the floor. Anyway, you can reach me, because our producer's like, wrap it up, wrap it up. You can reach me on Twitter and Instagram at Dom Onyx, on Facebook, facebook.com/Dom Onyx, and my website, www.domonyx.com. So thank you all for coming out. God bless you, and good night.
Bye.
Mwah.